What's happening, guys? Ed from Tech Source. Welcome back to another episode of Setup Wars. Today we have an awesome show for you. Actually, we always have an awesome show for you here on Setup Wars. Now guys, I don't know what's going on, but the show is currently on fire. We are hitting close to 500,000 views consistently, which is like more than double that I usually get. You guys are kicking ass on the like button and leaving awesome feedback in the comment section. So I just want to say thank you so much for your support. With that said, if you guys want to participate, make sure to watch the video link down below to learn how to enter and submit your photos for Setup Wars. But with that said, let the Setup Wars begin. Looking for an easier way to start gaming now? Well, now you can with the Corsair Vengeance 6100 series gaming PC. Powered by an AMD Ryzen 3000 series CPU, AMD Radeon RX 5700 series graphics card, and Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro memory. Every Vengeance gaming PC comes with a 2-year system warranty on parts and labor with Corsair's lifetime 24/7 customer service. For more info, check the link below. Kicking off the show, we got Ollie from London and his insane quad display multi-purpose setup. Take a look at those giant monitors. We got dual 34 inches on the sides, sandwiching a 35-inch Acer Predator in the middle, and we got a massive 50-inch 4K TV up top as an overhead. You might ask yourself, what in Neptune's 7th moon could he possibly use triple ultra-wide monitors for? Well, let me tell you, he uses them to train for the Tetris 2020 World Championship. I'm just kidding, he actually uses them for gaming, machine learning, and app development, but personally I feel like going with a regular 27-inch monitor in vertical mode would have been more efficient for the outer monitors if you are coding. Also, this way, the right monitor won't end up blocking the awesome PC. For peripherals, we got the Corsair K70 Keyboard with the Razer Naga mouse, and for audio, he's got a few headphones hanging underneath the desk, the original HyperX Cloud headset, and the Sennheiser Momentum 2 headphones with a pair of Edifier speakers tucked away in the back. Cables are managed pretty well for the most part thanks to the built-in channel raceway. However, the cables behind the monitors could use some work. You know, a couple of Velcro straps can go a long way in keeping those wires from flaring out. I'm actually noticing this now, but this setup is being powered by 2 PCs, judging by the Windows taskbars. The left one is hooked up to the top display, while the right one powers all of the ultrawides. We have a 6700K with the GTX 1080 in the first PC, while the second one is water-cooled with a 9900K and the MSI RTX 2080 Ti. I'm curious what those temps are, considering you did go with a single 360 radiator for both the CPU and GPU blocks, but either way, it's a sick build and a sick setup. Now, if I can chime in for a bit, as much as I am obsessed with nanoleaf panels, and personally I think it can make any setup look amazing, I just feel like it's not really being appreciated with your setup. You have them mounted on the wall beside you, and it just feels like it's not really contributing to the setup at all. There are 2 options I recommend. Either put them on the opposite wall, right above the water-cooled PC, or you can buy these corner adapters for the panels, and I'm sure you can come up with a really cool design for that same corner. Personally, I think it will make your setup look way cooler, but thank you, Ollie, for starting off the show. Up next is Anders from Taiwan, and what the hell kind of case is that? Alright, you know what, we'll come back to that. So Anders actually has several setups in this room, all for different reasons. Starting off with the main setup, which is used for PC gaming and streaming, we got dual 24-inch 1440p monitors from ASUS sitting on a couple of risers, which are actually the perfect length to store his Thermaltake keyboard when he decides to switch setups. Very nice. He's also using the ASUS ROG Spatha wireless mouse and pretty good selection of audio gear as well. The main source are the Razer Nomo speakers and a few pair of headphones hanging underneath the desk. We got the ASUS Strix wireless headset and my all-time favorite headphones that I love traveling with, the Bose QC35s. While we're down here, can we just appreciate that cable management? Look at how beautifully those cables are wrapped together. Tell me that doesn't give any of you wood. You can tell that Anders is a badass because he has a freaking snake as a pet, just casually chilling next to his setup. Now, I don't know what kind of snake that is, but extra points if it is poisonous, because nothing screams out I'm a badass than owning a deadly venomous snake. Speaking of which, can someone actually confirm what type of snake that is in the comment section? I am legitimately curious. So anyways, that is Anders' main setup, but he also has an Apple setup, and before he gets roasted in the comment section, he actually has this hooked up to the Razer Core X, which has a Radeon 7 GPU in there, and he uses this setup for graphic design and video audio production. Alright, so the PC powering the main setup is called Tesseract, and it's a custom water-cooled system inside the Thermaltake Core P90. I'm not sure why I haven't heard of this case until today, but it's an interesting case which looks like it was designed specifically for a corner. We got the i7 6800K in here with the ASUS GTX 1070. I do gotta say that you have some pretty interesting bends in there as well. I don't know why, but I'm actually digging this build a lot. It's definitely unique. I'm also loving that dope neon sign you got up there in between those nanoleaf panels. That's such a cool way to add a little bit of RGB lighting to the setup. But we aren't done just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Right behind this PC gaming setup is the console streaming setup with yet another sick custom PC. We got the i5-7400 in here with the ROG Strix 1050 Ti, and this is built inside the Cougar Conquer open air chassis. He's got that hooked up to a 40-inch Samsung TV, and he streams games from his Xbox One and PS4 Pro. But he does have a few of the classic consoles as well. I gotta give extra points to that N64. So many good memories with that thing. This is one hell of a gaming den you got over here. Thank you, Anders, for entering. I think we can all agree that Ben has some sort of an obsession with Harley Quinn. If the wallpaper wasn't enough to deduce that, I'm sure the custom modded PC will. So this is Ben's triple monitor setup that he uses mainly for gaming. However, he does have a dock for his laptop as well for when he has to work. So we got two 24-inch ASUS monitors sandwiching a 27-inch display in the middle, and on the desk we got the ROG Horus RGB keyboard with custom double-shot white keycaps and the M65 Elite mouse from Corsair. I can definitely appreciate the dedication to the Harley theme that he was going for, you know, from the small modifications done to the keyboard, to the writing on his headset, and of course his insanely modded custom water-cooled PC featuring the Ryzen 9 3900X and the Aura's RTX 2080 Super. Some might say it's a bit too much, but personally, I think it's perfect because this is Harley Quinn we are talking about. You know, she's insane and wild, so if you're gonna go for it, you gotta go all out. There is no such thing as a mild version of Harley Quinn. And if I'm being honest, I feel like this setup could definitely use a bit more. I love everything about this custom PC. It is honestly just chaotic, which screams Harley Quinn, and I would have loved to see this level of craziness across the rest of the setup. Personally, I would have let my imagination run wild on that clean white tabletop, to be honest. It's looking a bit tame compared to something so heavily modded like your custom PC. There are a few Harley Quinn murals I found online that would absolutely take this setup to the next level. I think these will look way better on the wall instead of that wall shelf, which honestly serves no purpose, not to mention it's not even centered. I'll leave a link to these down below if you want to check them out. I think this is the first Harley Quinn setup ever on the show, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely refreshing to see. Thank you so much, Ben, for entering. Coming in at number 4 is Brian from California, who is trying to grow his Twitch channel, and this is the setup he uses for obviously streaming, but he also uses it for photo editing, Illustrator design, CAD development, and programming. I mean, yeah, the setup is pretty cool, but what really drew me to this setup was the fact that this dude owns several classic arcades in his room. We got the original Miss Pac-Man and the original 1981 Donkey Kong with refurbished parts. And then there's this massive custom wall art that he made himself with built-in RGB lighting, which honestly looks pretty badass. So the actual setup has three 1440p monitors. The main one is a 165Hz display that he games on with a 27-inch monitor up top as an overhead, and then we got another 27-inch on the side in vertical mode for programming. For peripherals, he's got the Cooler Master Pro L keyboard with HyperX PBT keycaps and the Logitech G703 wireless mouse. For audio, he's got two massive Polk audio speakers pounding some serious bass into his ears and a few headphones hanging underneath the desk. We got the Sony 1000s and the AKG K7XXs. I love that he installed this massive power strip underneath the desk for convenience. This is pretty much the power strip you want to future-proof your setup. So any extra gear that he's gonna buy later in the future, he can just plug it in without having to buy a larger power strip. Pretty smart if you ask me. And finally, the PC powering the setup is a beautiful build with the 9700K and the MSI RTX 2080. But look at that color scheme, you guys. It's black and red with some gray accents, and it's looking pretty damn clean if you ask me. I like that custom 3D printed fan grille he made for the rear exhaust and the two fans he added on top of the PSU shroud. This setup might lack any sort of synergy or symmetry for that matter, but you know what? It works. Thank you, Brian, for entering, and good luck with your Twitch channel. If you guys want to check them out, I'll drop a link to it down below. And finally, wrapping up the episode is Cobie from the Philippines and his new and improved custom-built bleach-inspired setup. I mean, just look at that presentation. We got shelves on top of shelves of one-piece figurines, and he couldn't have picked a better way to represent them. Since Mr. Luffy is well known for his straw hat and straw sandals, going with a wooden theme was the best way to tie it all together. Now this setup was started in 2016, so it's 4 years in the making, and it's pretty cool to see the evolution of your setup from the very beginning. You have definitely made some huge improvements from 2016. Alright, so this was built for gaming, streaming, photo and video editing, along with some office work, but he also shares it with both of his kids for gaming as well. I absolutely love the custom-made desk with the custom monitor riser holding up all 3 of his displays. The center monitor was actually modded. He painted the base in white and he covered the bezels with white vinyl to stay consistent with the white on wood theme. And he even took it a step further and made custom stands for his headset and PS4 controller. Very nice. For peripherals, we got the Rack Lam Ang mechanical keyboard with the Kale box white switches and custom keycaps paired with the Rack Captain gaming mouse. I'm also just noticing this now, but it looks like he skinned the tabletop with some type of white vinyl, which actually looks pretty good against the wood accents. It makes the rest of the gear on top of it stand out a lot more. For audio, we do have the Logitech G933 headset resting on the custom-made stand and a set of Edifier speakers with custom-made wall shelves as well. Cobie even went as far as skinning the microphone stand in wooden vinyl. Are you kidding me? For cable management, Cobie built a rack underneath the desk to hold the wires, and he did use a few channel raceways to hide the cables from the speakers. And even the PC cables are managed with a spiral sleeve. Well done. Speaking of the PC, it's sitting on a custom wall shelf that Cobie added on the right side of the setup, and it's equipped with the Ryzen 5 3600 and ASUS Strix GTX 1070. It's a great looking system, but why did you put stickers on the case? It kind of looks a bit tacky. I gotta say, I absolutely love the dedication in this setup. All the little modifications that Cobie has done to stay consistent with the one-piece theme is awesome. However, I'm gonna have to be that guy to point out a few things. I'm sure you guys have noticed it at this point, but the wall shelves are not spaced out evenly and they are not parallel with each other. You know, these are types of situations I often find myself when I'm deciding if I should give them the seal of approval or not. If the shelves were perfectly aligned, it would have been an easy choice, but at the same time, the plaque has a reputation to hold. Do I give them the seal because the setup is awesome and meets the criteria, or do I not give them the seal because the shelves aren't perfectly aligned? This is always going to be a win-lose situation for me no matter what I do. You know, on one end, if I do give them the seal, there's going to be people in the comment section saying, Ed, you're going soft. You know, that setup wasn't perfect. It doesn't deserve the seal of approval. You're going way too easy on them. And then there's going to be people on the opposite side. If I don't give them the seal, they're going to come after me with pitchforks in the comment section saying everything else about the setup was perfect. He definitely deserved the seal. So, you know what, guys? For the first time ever, I'm letting you guys decide. Does Cobie's setup deserve the seal of approval? So make sure to click on the poll on the top right and cast your vote and decide what I should do with Cobie's setup. Also, while you guys are up there, make sure to vote on the best setup of this episode. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love your beautiful faces, and I will see you guys very soon in the next one.